Yes, it was remarkable watching the Afghan army just sort of melt away over those weeks. Now, we've spoken a lot about the politicians, but it must be said that the US intelligence services did not expect this defeat to be so rapid. But judging by how fast the victory in Afghanistan was won initially, how the Taliban forces melted away back in 2003 with the initial invasion, should US intelligence not have imagined that sort of mirror image, that sort of poetic bookending of these couple of decades? Should that not have been anticipated?
Well, there's nothing poetic about this. And look, I also was guilty. I remember as things began to go bad a couple of months before the end, I remember telling somebody, don't worry, you're not going to see Taliban in pickup trucks with black flags riding through Kabul, which, of course, is exactly what happened in just a few weeks after I said that. So I'm reluctant to point the blame at any of our intelligence services. And I have to say, it was not just U.S. intelligence that was here. We had intelligence networks working together from multiple countries, some of the best intelligence agencies in the world. We got this wrong. And I think it was less about the Taliban. It was more about we failed to fully appreciate the depth or the lack of willingness for Afghan people to defend themselves for their own government. And the final mistake, look, I was wrong on this too. Pakistan was never an ally. We, the U.S., we tried to convince ourselves that Pakistan was an ally. We were not willing to do what it took to make sure that they would not support the Taliban or give them safe haven. We were not willing to do that, and we paid the price.
So just finally in this conversation, what happens now? How do we as the West, or the US specifically, move forward from the mess of the situation that's before us?
Well, of course, one of the major lessons that we seem to keep relearning is before you embark on any kind of operation, we need to make sure we understand what the strategic aim is. You know, when General Nick Carter was my commander, he said, you always have to go to get to the desired end. What is the end you want? And then you work back to the beginning on how you should get there. And that would have to be the biggest lesson learned for us is, my goodness, we didn't understand the nature of what we were getting in. And as it changed and as objectives changed, we never really made all the proper adjustments, and we never brought along our own population. That's part of it. And of course, look, I'm 1,000,000% in favor of taking care of getting girls to school, women being able to have jobs, but that was never the strategy. And so if that's the strategy, let's say it and then get all of our populations behind it and say, okay, look, and by the way, you're going to pay for it too. We're going to raise taxes to pay for this. And then let's see if we can stick to that strategy.